Hello, I'm Essie. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is where all the messiness congregates because Temptation Island is a full on mess. Like, I'm just. I don't know why someone would have the idea of taking like your spouse to an island full of people you know for a fact will tempt him or her, and then you get mad at the end of it all once they succumb to it. So I'm already ranting. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to go through season 2 of Temptation Island. I'm very excited. Can you tell? Anyway, it's a whole mess. Like these 3 couples that are just messy. And today it's up to you to decide who is the messiest, and you're going to drop the names on the comment section. Is it in the comment section or on the comment section? This is why we are failing at in English, even for the nurses. Like, yeah, I'm very sorry. Anyway, we have Rick and Ashley. We have there are 2 Ashleys. So Rick and Ashley is Ashley G. We are going to call her Ashley G. She's also called by that. She goes by that name. She goes by that name in Temptation Island. So she's Ashley G, who is with Rick. And there's Ashley H, who is with Casey. And then there's David and Kate. So let's start with Ashley G. So Ashley G, they're a very beautiful couple, by the way. Like Ashley G and Rick, they're really, really pretty. Okay. It's a bit of a stretch when it comes to Rick, but people have their own tastes, so let's just keep going. So these 2 are here on the island to decide whether like Rick can stay faithful, and Ashley is the one who brought Rick here because Rick has cheated before. So they're on the island, they're vibing and everything, and as they go into the island, they're usually brought in by a boat, of course, given it's an island. They're brought in by a yacht. It's not even a boat, that thing is a full-on yacht. They're brought in by a yacht, and they just, like, you can see them having conversations. You listen to their conversations and like who has what problem and everything. I don't think I explained this in the first one, but yeah, when they come in, you can listen in on their conversations. So while they're coming in, it is said that Rick is the one who cheated first. Okay, Rick has cheated before, and Ashley doesn't trust him to not cheat again, and Ashley wants her ring. They've been together for 4.5 years, I think. 4.5, yeah. So Ashley is like, where's my ring? I want my ring. So let's go in here and see if you can still be faithful. So on the very first day, like I explained, the other one, they get there, they greet Mark, they see the singles. And during the time that they're seeing the singles, their story starts from the beginning. Like for them, it isn't even about even getting into the house yet. They're just right there at the door. Washaanza maneno. So while they're seeing the singles, Ashley, you know that giggle that you do at this point. I'm talking about the women. The giggle that we do once we see our crush. That, yeah, that one. But now she's almost falling over because she's just like, where did you come from? Like, I really like you. But she isn't saying I really like you. She's just like, where did you come from? And her guy, like Rick, is like, you're laughing too hard. You're doing too much. You're trying too hard. So cut it out. Anyway, so they see the singles and everything, and KB is the one who Ashley laughs too hard at. Remember, and this is Ashley G. So anyway, once they are doing this and they're meeting the singles, and then they go to the house. So before they get to the house, like I said, for them it starts from the beginning. So while they're there, they're still choosing their partners. Like if you didn't watch the first video, you choose your first dates in front of your partners. There's like 12 men, 12 women, and then there's the 8 of you. That is you and your partner, and all 8 of you have to choose separate partners to go on dates with in front of the partner that you came with. So once they're choosing and everything, she chooses KB. And Rick is like, I ain't caffeine. And for the ones who are watching this and don't know what caffeine is, that's like, it's basically like he said they are going to be single. Well, at least that's how Ashley G understood it. And Ashley G was like, if he ain't handcuffing someone else, well, it's about to get spicy, get spicy. Okay, I have too much energy today. Anyway, so like they go to the houses where like the guys are staying on one side of the island, the girls are staying on the other side of the island, with the 12 men and 12 women separately, who are single, who have come to poach whoever you came with. So there's always every chance of losing someone. So while they're there, the vibing, they're drinking and everything, and Ashley G is bonding with KB because he's the one who was chosen by her to go on that date with him. So anyway, they're there, they're bonding and everything, and they start flirting, and not the light flirting, the kind of flirting that is going to get you into trouble. You know that kind, right? Yeah, that exact one. So once they're flirting and everything, sis, just sis, just sis, sis. Ashley G took KB to bed. And I'm not saying like they went and cuddled or anything, they did adult cuddling. Let's put it that way. Yeah, they did adult cuddling. Before their first date, like literally, she just saw her boyfriend on the same day. And because he said he ain't caffeine, she slept with KB. And this is just me and being biased, but that, except for the abs, there's nothing going on for that guy. But what the hell do I know? Someone found him attractive. So anyway, just cease. What? I didn't want to judge going into this, but I'm judging. I'm judging because when they were coming in, Ashley was all up on Rick's business. Like, I know you're going to see women, you're going to be like, she'll be gone for a month. I'm going to turn up. And then you did that. From that night onwards, KB and Ashley G were hooking up. So they were hanging out around together. On the other side, Rick, there's this girl that he chose. What's her name? What's her name? Medina. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I think it's Medina. Yeah. I'm thinking that's Medina. So Medina is into Rick, but Rick is like keeping her at arm's length because remember, Rick has cheated before, so he knows the consequences of cheating on Ashley G. And in his head, he never just sat down and went like, "My girl is going to cheat on me," because he knew he was the one who was in the wrong before. So he was very careful. And in this process of being careful and everything and avoiding Medina, like yes, he was talking to her. Yes, you could see that they liked each other, but he wasn't kissing her or anything of the sort. He was just having that distance between them. So the first bonfire came through, and Rick had to watch KB in bed with his girlfriend. I just can't tell you how much that looked like it was going to finish him. He looked like he didn't have any more energy in his bones. He just looked defeated. He didn't even look angry, he just looked defeated. And that was just hard to watch. Like, you guys need to watch this thing. That was hard to watch. So, on the other hand, Ashley was very worried, but she didn't really see anything of importance. It wasn't that big of a deal. So when Rick went back, Medina was trying to feel him out. You know, once they go back to the house, the other people, like the singles usually try to fill them out, see where they're at, if maybe they'll make a connection with someone and have a romantic relationship with one of them. So Medina was trying to dig out whatever Rick was feeling. And he just shut down. The whole time he was just shutting her down and everything. And Ashley, on the other hand, the very next day after she slept with him, she was like very stressed out because she was like, I might have destroyed my relationship, blah blah blah. But she was still sleeping with him. Why are you complaining? Why? Like, once she saw that, yes, her boyfriend wasn't doing anything, but he was kind of forming a connection with someone else. Like, he wasn't doing anything sexual, but he was kind of opening up emotionally to Medina because he was just, that's exactly what they were supposed to do there. So he was talking to Medina, and all of a sudden, this woman is mad and crying. Why are you crying? What? Why are you crying? And she's like, I'm not made for this. Like, so many things I want to say, but I'm going to keep them to myself because I know you can never say, by the way, never say can't be me. Not in any lifetime, because God will show you that it will be you. As a matter of fact, you will be the queen or the king of everything that you say that can't be you. So, but yes, on national television, on the first night, really, really, him. To each their own. Anyway, so with time, well, she's still seeing KB because they're still going to the bonfires. I think they go to the bonfires each and every end week, if I'm not wrong, because they're there for just a month. I can't imagine that they go for more than that. So the next bonfire, her boyfriend is still seeing her with someone else. So after that bonfire, Rick kissed Medina because for him at that point it was a matter of, I'm losing my girlfriend of 4 years and there's this woman who's trying to get with me. On the other hand, KB and Ashley G are still hooking up. So after the second date, and that's after the second bonfire, after the second date, second bonfire, yeah, I think that's the timeline. I'm not sure, but I know it was after the second date. She started wondering, like, what happens after, because at that point she has already cheated on her boyfriend and she's falling into the arms of this man that she is not sure about her intentions with him or even his intentions with her. So she has to feel him out and know what's going to happen. So she talked to KB. KB is like, you came here to form connections, blah blah blah. You should see where things take you. See, red flags. Just red flags written all over. And then she had a second conversation with him, of which in the second conversation he was like, I don't think it will make sense for us to be together out of this island. You got played. You got, like, I'm not supposed to be laughing, but yeah, she got played because KB was like, this is it for me. Like, yeah, we have a good connection, but I don't think we're going to be together out of the island. And that's when she realized, oh, damn it, I messed up. So now she has to go through the motions of, she just ruined her 4-year long relationship for someone who didn't even see her as a girlfriend, let alone as a wife, which she had been pushing Rick to make her a wife. So, on the other hand, on Rick's end, he's still hesitant where Medina is concerned, but he's more open emotionally. He's talking to her, he's hanging out with her, he's making out with her on camera, but he isn't necessarily doing what Ashley G did to him. He even like had her in his bed, but all they show is that they cuddled. And according to the producers, we don't know. We really don't know what happens behind the scenes, but that's what they alleged, that they just cuddled. So the whole time that this other relationship is progressing, on the other hand, KB and Ashley had a huge fight over something very different, but it was obvious that the whole idea of the fight was the whole thing of them not being together and all that. Like the way he used her, the way she fell into that trap of the F boy, and yeah, it is messy. And by the time it reached like the next elimination round, because they have to eliminate these people until they're left with the people that they actually made a genuine connection with, whether it's romantically or a friend, you have to make a connection before you get out of there. So elimination round, she eliminated KD. It was really close to the end actually, but she eliminated him because she started talking about how toxic it is for them to be around each other. I fell silent just now because all the time she didn't realize it was toxic when she was cheating on her man and bad mouthing her man with KB, until it turned out that KB was just using her. And then she realized that he's toxic. Like, how much does it take for you to see that someone doesn't take you seriously? Because the very first, that was just last. We need to be careful out here and know the difference between liking someone, lasting after someone, and loving someone, because Ashley just dug a hole so deep. It's amazing that she even found a way out of it, because oof. Anyway, they left the island together. Yes. Rick and Ashley left the island together because they realized they can work things out and blah blah blah. But at the reunion, it didn't seem like they were together anymore. And KB is not the type of person anyone would want to be with. I don't think so, but there's someone for everyone. But KB, according to me, came across as, you know, those alpha types of men, the ones who have to be the loudest, the one who has to be in control of everyone else. He was making it seem as if no one else in the house had more authority than him. No one put you in charge. Where's the prefect? Where's the head boy? But he was just so loud about the argument that he had with Ashley. He was very loud. He was like, no one can talk over me. You should apologize, blah, blah, blah. Like, he was making too much of a deal out of it. Like, it was such a small thing, but he just went on and went on and went on until the other guy had to apologize to him. Well, he wasn't even in the wrong. Like, he hadn't wronged KB, but KB was just loud. For me, anyone who is just like, I'm an alpha, blah blah blah, no, 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 just no, you're just trouble. Anyway, Ashley and Rick done. Next, should we do Ashley H and Casey? So Casey and Ashley came in because Casey had been a playboy before he met Ashley, but he brought Ashley in because Ashley was insecure. Ashley H. Remember, the very first one was Ashley G. This is Ashley H. The first one was a black couple, and KB is also black, but this second one is, yeah, the opposite of black. I'm just trying not to sound racist or anything, but I didn't know any other way to explain it to you. So, yeah, Ashley H and Casey. So, Ashley is very insecure because, remember, like I said, she met Casey while he was still a playboy. He's someone who likes to have fun, someone who likes to go out and just go out to clubs and dance and do all that stuff. But Ashley H is more laid back. So once they got there, on the very first night, I think it was Casey's birthday. I don't know if it was the first or the second night, but it was Casey's birthday, and he had two women who were basically on him. Yeah. And for Casey and Ashley, they're basically the competitors. There's Ben and Dick for Ashley, and there's Peyton and Rachel. If I'm not wrong, Rachel for Casey. So once he got there, Peyton was all over him and everything. Like, even when I'm talking about the birthday, Peyton was all over him. But for him, he was like, no, I still love my girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. But, and this is where I think sometimes these things teaches people lessons, even if it's just trashy TV. But Casey kept talking trashy about Ashley. Like, he would be like, I know she won't do anything. It was more of not I trust her, but more of she's not the type of person who will do such a thing. It's a matter of like, like there's kienyeji and then there's slay queens. Sasa they were he was expecting her to be like kienyeji, like a more settled version human being, like asifanye chochote, but he wants to be messy. I don't know what it is that is usually inside people that makes them think that they have a right to be messy, because he kept talking about how he's going to be himself, he wouldn't change himself, blah blah blah, he's going to go into party mode the way he's used to. Dude, just don't, like, it's not a matter of changing yourself for your partner per se, but there is certain habits that you leave behind when you're in a relationship. I'm not a relationship guru, by the way, don't even dare come for me. But I know for a fact, like, there are just some things you don't do to someone, because the whole time that Casey was there, he was avoiding Peyton because Peyton wanted a real relationship with him. But he was hanging out with Rachel because Rachel just, yes, kept advising him about his girlfriend, but Rachel didn't insist on anything emotionally except being friends. But at the same time, Casey went around every time, like, because every time the girls would hang around everyone, like, everyone was trying to find a connection. There's 12 women in there. So, of course, they're going to try and find connection with these 4 men. So, like, every time he was hanging around some women, he would be like, oh, I don't care what she does. Not because he expected her not to do anything. Like, if I'm in a relationship with someone and then I hear you talking about how you don't care what I do, like, you're supposed to care. It's supposed to be in your head that if I did such and such a thing, it will hurt you. Not that I will do it, but why isn't it in your head that just in case this woman does such and such a thing, I'm going to get hurt? Like, everyone else was like, oh my god, I'm just hoping I don't see anything wrong. This man, I trust her 100%. And not in a good way, but in a way of like, she's too much of a goody goody to do this thing. So anyway, Casey made the mistake of saying one day that for him, if she left, it's okay. Like, if she left him, it's okay. And it's like saying in his own words, I love you, but if you left, I'll be okay. Like, he would go back to his playboy ways. He remembers what it was like to be single. And they showed this video at the bonfire. Remember in the previous video, I said that at the bonfire, they showed the worst of you, or at the very least, what they think can cause drama, because it's reality TV. That's what they do. So they showed that video, and that's when Casey was like, hold up. We are going to do this my way. Like I said, I have too much energy today. Anyway, Casey had Ben and Dick, both of whom she really liked, but Dick reminded her too much of Casey because he was a party boy, he was too loud, he was just everywhere, and Ben was more settled. So she started gravitating towards Ben, of which eventually, after, especially after his statement of, especially after Casey's statement of, I love you, but even if you left me, I was okay, Casey was like, it's go time. It's go time. Yeah, I need to get this energy out anyway. So Casey was like, okay, let's do this. So she started seeing Ben more seriously, because she had been alternating her dates between Ben and Dick. Like this date I'm going to take Ben, the next date I'm going to take Dick. I, I don't know how, but it's just now that I realized. Don't don't you even dare. Yes, his name is Dick. Don't you dare. Anyway, so after that, she started seeing Ben very seriously, and she had to eliminate Dick from the house. So her and Ben are seeing each other, and the video that followed, the video of Casey saying that he doesn't care if she leaves, the next bonfire is Casey seeing her with Ben. And Casey, I really wish you guys would watch this. And for those who have watched it after my first video, thank you so much for all the subscribing that you guys have been doing. The views are over 100, by the way. Like, I'm so happy. I am so happy, and I think that's why I have that extra energy in me. But like, I'm just so happy that you guys viewed this and decided to go and watch it, like, out of my recommendation, and just keep watching. It gets worse. It just gets worse. It's a train wreck, just falling apart in every station that it reaches. Anyway, so where was I? Where was I really? Um yeah, so Casey sees them like together in bed, and if there's ever someone that I've seen, like, I know I can't cry on cue. It's one of the things that I just don't get, like how someone can be like, okay, cry, and the camera is on you and people are like, cry, and you just cry. But Casey tried. That man tried. I've never seen someone try that hard to cry. Like, that man couldn't even make a baby cry. Like, he's that bad at crying. He was just trying. You could see in his face he was using all of his face muscles to just try and find some tears, but they were not tears. My dear one, that just none. They weren't coming through. And at that point, it was just sad to watch him try and cry, and funny too. Anyway, so after seeing that, by the time it reached like the end, they usually given like the very last date that you have, you're given an overnight date, which means you'll be given a hotel room to hang out at or hook up at, whichever you guys are going to choose. They're given the hotel room, and then the next day, now they see their spouses and they decide if they're going to live with their spouse, they're going to live with whoever they were in that hotel room with, or they're going to live alone. So what Casey did on his date is go ring shopping. Also, before that, there's usually those videos that told to record for 30 seconds, and Casey was really crying because she had found another connection, and she was just like, eh. I mean, you did say you wouldn't care, so why are you crying? Like, what exactly is your reason to cry? Why are you a crybaby? Because that's exactly what that guy is. And the number of time that man says baby. Oh. By the way, they have a Temptation Island, South Africa. I just saw that today. I don't understand how I missed that, but I'm going to check it out for you guys, and then we're going to get here and just ruin everything that we have just seen from Temptation Island. But they've already ruined it themselves because these people are idiots. But I'm getting off track. Anyway, so he goes ring shopping, and the very next day he's proposing to Ashley H, who is like, are you mad? Like, are you insane? Like, I expected this, but are you insane? After everything that you said. And mind you, after like he has gone to the car, because it's like if you've ever watched The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, they usually go into a car afterwards, like after everything has died down, then they're going into a car to go home or to go back to the house, whichever it is that is happening at that moment. But now they're going into the car so that they can go home. While he's in the car, he's like, I never said that. I never said that if she left, I'll be okay. That man is delusional. To the end, the man is delusional. Like, Casey, you need to wake up and smell the coffee, because honey, you need a kick just to get you to realize that that woman isn't your woman anymore and you are dumb, just dumb. Like, you can't be that delusional. Like, I get when some people are certain kind of delusional, but his is just, whew, just, it's just sad to see. Basically, it's really sad to see. Anyway, that's two couples down. The next and the last couple is David and Kate. Now, David and Kate, unlike the other two, have a really wide age gap, and they're 6 years apart when it comes to age. And David is the younger one. Yes, this is going wherever you think it's going, and Kate is older. So Kate is more grounded, more settled, and Kate wants like to get married because she is 34. So she's like, she wants to get married, she wants to get kids. David is not open with his feelings and everything. By the way, this is a warning. If a man tells you like he's not used to talking about his feelings, blah blah blah, if he's emotionally unavailable, run. Just don't even try anything, just run. It's not your business to fix people. It's not. Don't be a therapist for this human being. Run. Kwa sababu. Hey, Kanairo. Anyway, so hawa watu wamefika. David is just there like, I need to open up emotionally, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Kate is like, mahali mimi nimefika, I need to have an actual relationship where I'm going to get married and I'm going to get kids. And they've been together for 3 years, two of which it was long distance, and then in a year they moved in together because they're like, okay, this is too much. I don't know if they moved in together or they're in the same city. I don't remember that correctly, but I do know for a fact that they were in the same city. So after that, this is one of the things that usually just, it's messy. It's one of the ones which are very messy, because once they got there, Kate was more grounded. Like I said, she was really, really, really grounded. And David just started, like, from the jump, he had already gotten someone to talk to flirt with. The girl's name was Samantha. Yeah, Samantha. He was with Samantha first. That's the first connection that he made. He was hanging out with her, he was flirting and everything. And they had this thing called, I think it's the blackout party, because they had a lot of parties, by the way. They used to have a lot of parties, especially like when you get there, the very first night with the singles, you have a party. Every bonfire they used to get a party, or they would just be chilling, but mostly they would have a party. So they had a blackout party. I don't know if it was the second day or if it was after the first bonfire that they had, but the blackout party was there. And David, I'm trying to find words to say this, but David was with Samantha and a girl called Peyton in the same bed, and they, I don't know how people survive this, but David hooked up with both these women on the same night, in the same bed. Like, they woke up in the same bed, all three of them. But on the other hand, Kate had to watch this during a bonfire and know that her man was already getting into the sheets with someone else, and not just one person but two people. That was painful to watch on her behalf. Anyway, so At that point, Kate was making connections, but she was being respectful about her connections. Like, yes, she was talking to the guys and everything, but she wasn't really going to the extent that David was going to. It was just weird. Because you knew, okay, like when, let me talk from my perspective and not from whatever I watched. From my perspective, David was just basically like a kid in a candy store. And David is the one who insisted that they go there, by the way. David was a kid in a candy store. It's like they placed him there and he was like, oh, new women that I've never seen before in my life. Let me have at it. Like he was just everywhere. But mostly it was with Samantha. Peyton was just then. And then all of a sudden, there's this woman by the name Juanita who was in his line. Like, that guy is. I made this the last story because I get so mad when I talk about it, when I think about it, when I just see that man's face, I get mad on behalf of Kate. So, anyway, once he started developing feelings for Juanita, well, according to him, he started developing feelings. He was playing her and Samantha and made Peyton a friend. Kate, on the other hand, was just like chilled. Alikuwa asumbuani na mtu. But huku kwingine, David, moto umewaka hivi. Ni wanawake left, right. Huku ameshika huyu, ameenda kwa huyu. Because remember now he has Samantha and Juanita. So, like, he will literally, in the whole thing, once you go and watch, you'll see that he will be hanging out with Juanita, like, literally his leg, I think, was on top of Juanita's lap or something of the sort. And he was looking at Samantha. Like, he's messy. He's very messy for someone who was trying to convince his girlfriend that he's faithful. Anyway, by the time they reached, for them, they didn't have too much drama, except like for the whole situation with Juanita and Samantha and Peyton, because Peyton eventually left the picture, and then it was Samantha and Juanita, and then he eliminated Samantha. And Samantha was like, it's all good. He's a boy anyway. Of which, once you come to watch it, it's like I said, it was like having a kid in Candyland. Like, it wasn't even a candy store, it was Candyland. Like, ameona sweetie na nataka zote. So, by the time it was coming to an end, and they had to meet during the very final bonfire, they didn't have, like I said, they didn't have too much drama in between. By that time, he had already, like, established a kind of relationship with Juanita. Because remember, Peyton was a whole mess. Peyton was everywhere, so she doesn't even count at this point. But Juanita is who he had been somehow concentrating on and everything. And by the time it reached the anyway, by the time the bonfire time, like, had arrived, David was Jesus was crucified, but this guy was coming to crucify himself. Listen, just listen. I know there are going to be some Christians who are going to watch this and feel some type of way, but just listen. This guy, once they sat down with Kate, he had come here with, they had been together for 3 years. He started, ushaiona tu mtu ambaye like anajichimbia shimo. Messy human beings, just messiness all over. Anyway, vile alifikaga hapo tu ashaanza oh, I should tell you the truth myself. And she's like, I saw whatever you did anyway, you don't have to tell me. And he's like, no, let me tell you. So once I arrived, they gave me lap dances. So doing it in. Do you know, even the host was looking at him like, this guy is ridiculous. And then the host started laughing to himself. Like, he was like, no, because when I tell you that this guy is dumb, this guy is dumb. Like, he's 28, but he acts like he's 20 or even a teenager. Like, just let me just calm down for a second because I would love for you guys to go and watch and tell me what you think about this season that I'm talking about, the second season. For those who have already watched the first season and are watching this review, go and comment on the video about the first season. And I want to know what you guys thought, because I know there are a lot of couples that I didn't talk about in the first one. In this one, I've talked about 3 out of the 4. That's because the fourth one had their own issues, but they weren't as big as these 3. Anyway, out of these 3 that I've mentioned, tell me who you think had the biggest issue, and then tell me who you liked the most for those who will have watched it. And that's the end of it all. I have too much energy to burn. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm going to see you next time on Temptation Island Season 3.